And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Today's flying weather graphic, first one here, showing winter weather advisories out for the entire Arctic coast and into the north slope there, Nanutuvik Pass, along the highway up there. And that's for winds gusting 40 to 50 miles an hour, especially back here on the western Arctic coast, with snow and blowing snow reducing visibilities to a quarter mile or less at times, or half mile or less at times. And then the other shaded area here is for, looks like around Selawik to Kotzebue and that area. That's a wind chill advisory for northeast winds and wind chills to 50 degrees below zero. And to the south, wind chill advisory continues until 7 p.m. here for the southern Kuskokwim Valley, Sleet, Mute, and those areas for gusty winds and continued wind chills down to 40 below zero. And over to the eastern Gulf Coast here, winter weather advisory for Yakutat for snow and freezing rain for tonight. And winter storm warnings continue here for heavy snow over the northern Panhandle, Juneau area, out to the west, Angoon and those areas. I guess Elfin Cove included there. Looking for anywhere from 7 to 10 more inches of snow in the Juneau area, with lighter amounts in the advisory areas up toward Haines and Skagway, Klondike Highway, and also to the south. Satellite imagery showing still a lot of cloudiness here over the Panhandle. Some of that slid on up into the southeast interior with some light snow occurring up over the eastern Copper River Basin areas. Otherwise, clear, cold temperatures over the interior all the way down into south central Alaska today. And very weak band here, keeping a chance of snow showers there along the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula. Actually, there was areas of light snow today occurring in those areas. And mostly rain in the warmer temperatures down to the south over the southern Panhandle. And then up to the north here, watching still surges of moisture and clouds coming eastward. Another one right through here, already kicking the winds up and bringing moderate to heavy snow into the western Arctic coast this afternoon, with winds gusting anywhere from 45 to 55 miles per hour from Point Lay to Cape Lisburne. Have that marked in as a trough there, so a pretty good shot of wind and snow coming into the western Arctic coast tonight. That'll be advancing eastward this evening and overnight. Otherwise, high pressure there around the border there, more or less in the Eagle vicinity, and ridging southwestward, keeping it clear and cold all the way down into Bristol Bay and the southern Bering Sea tonight, with periods of light snow over the Copper River Basin. Maybe still some flurries possible, Prince William Sound this evening and North Gulf Coast. Again, winter weather advisory, Yakutat, several inches of snow possible, with also freezing rain possible as well. Heavy snow over the Panhandle with this front right along the coast, rain to the south, and still a weak front right through here associated with this low that's just barely on the chart there. So snow continues with gusty winds for the eastern Aleutians, western Alaska Peninsula. Some of that might get into Kodiak Island. Otherwise, the Bering Sea dry and winds slowly diminishing out here. And for tomorrow, or for tonight, not much change. We've got that area of moisture kind of slips to the south a little bit, so look for dry conditions for the Alaska Peninsula, eastern Aleutian areas, and now the wind's really coming down here over the Bering Sea, especially for the Pribilofs up to the southwest coast, becoming lighter, definitely, with a slacker gradient there. Still a little breezy, Adak and Atco with a risk of a snow shower or two there, diminishing snow over the eastern interior, and snow and blowing snow spreading eastward across the North Slope and the Arctic coast, with, again, winter weather advisories across the entire area up there for tonight into tomorrow. And still that snow pattern for the Panhandle continues into tomorrow there, with still looking at snow up over the northern areas, rain to the south, and still a chance of rain and snow into Yakutat and now the extreme southeastern Copper River Basin, Wrangell Mountains and those areas. Otherwise, another cold and dry day over interior Alaska, with highs in some areas staying in the minus 40s, like around the Yukon Flats there, and below zero everywhere else, except south central Alaska, rising above zero a short ways. And lighter winds again for Bristol Bay, just some variable cloudiness for Kodiak Island, light winds, mostly clear skies here, St. Lawrence Island, Seward Peninsula area, and gusty west winds there for the central Arctic coast. starting to diminish though, and no change really out over the Bering Sea or the Aleutians. And then for Wednesday, still a weak system here, keeping a thread of some shower activity, mainly for Adak and Atka, possibly Nikolsky. Otherwise, a weak low here with some light snow that's really out in the ocean there. Maybe St. Matthew Island, but staying south of St. Lawrence Island. High pressure, clear skies, cold temperatures, and winds not too bad here over all of interior Alaska. Still a couple of troughs on the north side of this ridge in that westerly flow, carrying some light flurries or snow showers along the Arctic coast in impulses there throughout the day on Wednesday. And now dry over the Copper River Basin with more clearing there, and cold temperatures continuing. And snow in the northern panhandle, rain to the south. Will be much lighter up here in the north to the Gulf Coast here. Another surge of rain pushing into the southern areas with that system. Lows for tonight in the lower 40s there. Sitka down to Craig, Klawock, Heidelberg, Metlakatla. In the lower 40s below zero there for Northway, Tok to Eagle, Chicken in those locations. Minus 50s in the Yukon Flats. And another night anywhere from 0 to 25 below. Coldest in the Susitna Valley for south central Alaska. 25 for Kodiak, near 0 for Togiak. King Salmon minus 6. Iliamna 12 below. Near 40 below for McGrath and Nikolai, as well as Fairbanks. And then 5 to 10 below out to the coastline there to 2 at Savunga. And for the Pribilofs, lows in the mid-20s, lower 30s for the Aleutians. Highs for tomorrow, again, 30 to 45 below for the eastern interior. Some areas a little milder, but staying below zero, well below zero with minus 13 for Gulkana and Glen Allen, the Copper River Basin. 10 to 15 for the highs, or 5 to 15 for the highs, better covers it for south central Alaska. West of the Alaska Range below zero until you get out toward the coastline. And 30 to 35 now over the northern panhandle, North Gulf Coast, 40 to 45 central and southern areas. Lows the following morning on Wednesday morning, lower 20s up around Haines to Skagway, lower 30s, Juneau, upper 30s to near 40 for areas to the south, and back below zero here all the way down to at least the Anchor Point area. 14, the forecast low for Seldovia, minus 33 for the Copper River Basin there, mid 30s below zero for the northern Kuskokwim Valley up toward Galena. And then anywhere again from 40 to 55 below for the central interior to the Yukon Flats, well below zero all the way out to the Arctic coast, St. Lawrence Island below zero, near zero along the southwest coast. And then highs, again, 5 to 15 south central Alaska, mid-20s for Homer, lower 30s for Kodiak, 30s northern panhandle, mid-40s to the south, and in the minus 40s there for the Yukon Flats, otherwise 10 to 20 below for the Arctic coast.